Hi everybody, welcome to the fourth stage of our 10 steps to starting a boudoir business. And in this session, we're looking at website development and marketing, and just really touching on the likes of SEO, the basics of a website layout, what I would encourage you to have in place and so on with it and things really. So again, with each of these 10 steps, we are following a certain kind of criteria with each of the different business developments that we're doing, so you can kind of follow the trends and things really. So today, as I said, we're looking at website marketing, which means what? It means stupidly, I'm going to be basically redesigning a website from scratch. Now, this is the one that we built for the child business when we were here, what was it, about 10 weeks ago now. So as far as the kind of the layout, I want a completely different change of layout. Now, I kind of pre-built one a couple of years ago that I really loved. Not to do with boudoir, but we're going to create one boudoir based. So in other words, this was what I called awesome front page. So the great thing about these designs, they're basically instantly still there. So when you create a new design layout, I can basically drop back and forth. So if I was looking at a spring boudoir, a summer boudoir, a winter boudoir, and so on, I can give a different feel and layout and so on based on kind of things that we're doing. But the one thing I thought we'd create is a standalone front page with no navigation. So what we refer to as a squeeze site. So in other words, you can't go anywhere except for the front page itself, okay? So we're going to go ahead and actually kind of create this from scratch, kind of a look out. The only thing I haven't uploaded is a video ready and some images and things really. I'll kind of a step-by-step guide, but basically how easy this is, and we're not, our trade partner isn't SmugMug anymore. I use SmugMug myself. Jay knows SmugMug as well. We use it within the experience group as well as that. We don't use it for the academy for obvious reasons, because it kind of needs a lot more kind of technology and a lot more kind of customization. But what we're looking at here is something that you can create, and you can create it in around about 35 minutes to an hour if you're kind of inexperienced with it and things really. So the best thing I can do, in fact, is if we, I'll just copy this URL for a minute, just so we can kind of pop back and forth to it if we so need to. Let me just launch a different browser, so it will basically remain the same. There we go, just paste it into there. Okay, so this is how it would look as far as a client visiting. Now, obviously, today you should really be designing sites that work, first of all, on a phone and a tablet before they do on a screen. So it doesn't matter what we're going to be doing here. Really, what we want to make sure of that it looks amazing on a screen as well with it. And I'll share this kind of link with you now. So I'll put this into the chat panel. This will go out to everybody, so if you want to actually click on that link, you'll basically be able to see the kind of the before and after anyway, yeah? So that's where we're going to go. So what I want to do now is I want to create a new site. So I'm going to go into the new site, and I'm going to choose, now you can see this is based on what is called Zoe. So all I need to do is actually go down to the pre-designed sites that they've kind of done for you and choose Zoe here, okay? So if this is Zoe as a basic kind of setup, as far as the kind of the look and the feel to it and everything else with it, which we obviously don't want any of at all. So I'm going to choose this design. I'm going to customize it. So it means that the other website is still basically fully functioning, fully, while I'm actually in development. Now, there is some things that we should have been doing before we do anything else. And in the full kind of website marketing, the first thing we should be looking at, in fact, even before the likes of going in here and creating a website, we should be looking at the SEO and basically at least making the site as visible as we can. And those are things that SmugMug make it very easy for us to do up in the account settings, which we'll get to later. Let's create the basic website design first, okay? So at least we can kind of come back to it. So I want you to kind of understand exactly what we're doing here. The first thing I'm going to do is in the entire site, okay, so this is the kind of the red. I want to actually delete the navigation block like I just did. I also want to, I can keep the actual Facebook and the social media elements, so I'm going to be using that anyway. And then as far as the heading is concerned, we're going to replace this with a logo, so we can kind of remove that if we want, but it doesn't need to be there. So I can actually delete it and that block has gone straight away, all right? The template settings, let's kind of just awesome Boudoir. Let's give this site a name first. I'm going to switch the SmugMug web header off. SmugMug footer is going to be put into mini mode. Powered by SmugMug is going to be on the right hand side, or it can be left, it doesn't matter. Independent home page. So that's exactly what we want to do here, okay? We're going to press on, and this makes everything behind it is different, but the front page, no matter what, is basically as we're doing it now. Favicon wise, basically we can go and choose an image to what it's going to be. So we want to obviously choose a kind of a boudoir image. So let's just go up ahead and actually just choose a photograph, just pressing done there. And then that favicon is going to be the thing that is going to replace in the top of the URL here, where I've got the mouse now, that SmugMug icon is going to be replaced by that favicon, that image that I chose. So let's do the home page now, okay? So this is what we're looking to actually create. So straight away, let's just get rid of pretty much everything, because we just did. And we want to basically kind of start to build up our site as we're going along. If you feel that you're going to need a logo on every single page, we need it on the entire site, which I pretty much do, okay, no matter what. So even though I'm not going to have navigation, what I am going to have is a logo in place. So I'm basically going to go to photos, and we're just going to go into a single photograph, and then we're going to go and choose, and fingers crossed our logo is going to be here. So you can see already that because we've designed many different websites on here, it's starting to look a little bit kind of all over the place. Now, like we did with the child site, soon we're going to go and create a new full folder, and that's where we're going to store everything. But for now, let's just go and see if on the website itself we can find the logo, which we can. Just going to press done, and then basically it's there. Action on click is none, or go to home screen, or go to whatever it would be. In the photo size, we want it small, so it's not going to kind of dominate. I can say where it's going to be, whether it's centered in the middle, or it's going to be moved or not, and we're pretty much there. So straight away, that is the only thing so far, and this here is going to be on the whole website because they're in red. All right, now we're going to just work on this custom home screen, like I was saying to you. So once more, what we want to do now, if we kind of just flick back to that other image we saw here, what we had was navigation. Well, we're going to not have that, okay? We're just going to go for this line of text. And the reason I'm going for no navigation is just pure choice and something different for you to see. So we're going to go into navigation, or text, in fact. What am I on about? Text here. I'm going to go with title. And at this stage, we're going to change it to the Boudoir photographer. And Jay, I think you've got somebody at the front door. Said to that with it, and we're basically size, color, we're just actually going to keep it as it is for now. We can always go back to it. Then we're going to go and get some images. Now, the biggest problem that we've done is that basically we're trying to create a website without the assets that we need. So it's no big deal. If I go in and I just create another URL, even while I'm in the middle of building this, and I go into organize, I'm into the kind of the what I'm trying to create mode, yeah? So I'm just going to go create, and I'm going to create a folder. I'm now going to call it 0, and then it's going to go Boudoir business. It would help if I spelt it. Now, as a rule of thumb, I want to create metadata for every single element, including each image, as I'm going along. Now, I usually kind of copy and paste this in. So, boudoir photography, empowerment for every woman. Studios based in Barry, near Cardiff, South Wales. Okay, etc. Blah blah blah. Obviously, boudoir photography, photographer, studio, women, makeover, beauty. Okay, so just as a basic there, you can see it doesn't take us long. Now, what are we going to do? I want to actually upload folders. Why? This is just to make it easier. Now, I obviously can create galleries as I'm going along, but all I've got to do is actually select the different folders that I want. And if I haven't created the folders too deep or included files that are not allowed, basically I can just drag and drop images straight into the website itself. Okay, so it's creating a folder, and then within the folder are going to be different galleries based on what I did. So what I actually just dropped in there, as you can see from here, just from a portable drive, I've dragged across graphics and I've dragged across 8 styles of boudoir. There's lots of other kind of images here that I could drag across for client files or whatever it would be and things really. All right, so basically I've got all the images that I kind of have. Now, obviously these are full resolution files. I don't need to knock anything down in size. As soon as I upload an image, SmugMug Intelligence creates multiple versions of the same photograph, whether I like it or not, to make it very fast, whether somebody's viewing on a phone or whether they're going to be viewing on a laptop or an iPad or whatever it be. Okay, so it looks at the resolution of the kind of streaming levels and everything else with it, and it kind of delivers the main thing. All I can upload though is a JPEG file, a PNG file. Yes, I can create MP4 files as well. And those are the only things I'm really allowed to upload. Anything that is like a PSD file, a Photoshop multi-layered document, or a TIFF, it doesn't allow. Okay, so this is all about delivering the right kind of product. Now, if you've already knocked down images in size for whatever reason, and that's what you want to actually deliver, basically we can be doing that. But you can see I'm uploading here 153 images, and they're full resolution files, and fingers crossed it's not kind of making me into a robot as I speak here. But what I was saying to you before, it's pointless really doing what I'm doing as far as the kind of showing off photographs unless I'm basically, or building the website I should say, unless I've basically got those images to kind of really show off. All right, so again, making sure what we're doing is having the correct kind of images. Now, there might be a go-to gallery that you're going to use, and if that's the case, I can basically drag and drop that gallery onto there. Even whilst I've kind of uploaded, I drag those folders in. Now it's creating another gallery based on the folder's name, and this one is going to be Boudoir Variety. So I've got no idea what's in here. It's obviously got it's got some images because it's uploaded in the rest of them, and you can see the only one it's failed to do is basically the graphic circle master PSD file. That's the only one that it's done, and from within that folder you can now see it's created 2 galleries. Okay, so even though I dropped in a folder called Boudoir Variety, in case you were missing what I was doing, this one here, Boudoir Variety, I just dragged in there. But what it did, because I did a full folder full of other folders, it created each of the different galleries for me as we're going along. Okay. So once that's pretty much done now, we're kind of beginning to work in the boudoir business. Now, there might need some other things that are already on the site that I want to kind of collect in the same place. So we just saw a minute ago, yes, that I went into the home screen, and we went into other, and we went into the site do not delete. So things like graphics here, yes, if I just click on them, including my logo as well, if that's what I want, I can go and find that boudoir graphics folder, as you see here. And when I kind of drag it across, it's going to ask me whether I want to move them or collect them. In this case, I just need to collect them. Now, as a rule, when you're working in your own site, you'd be working from fresh, which means that you don't have to kind of worry about navigation too much. You've kind of already set it all out to begin with. But even things like the gallery here, I can either move to it or I can collect the images from within it across towards the other part. So you can see that we've collected images. There's other parts as well if I want vouchers. So let me just put across the wrong button, Mark Cleghorn. I want to move it across to the graphics again. I'm going to collect it. So basically what I've now got, if I go back into my boudoir business, I've got the 8 galleries here, or 7 in this case. I've got my boudoir variety. I've got some graphics as well, and I'm pretty much ready to actually start to build my site. So now we're back into the build page. So if I go to plus, and remember, if you're joining us live, we're mimicking this design here. Okay, so this is going to be a carousel of images. So let's just go into now photos, and we're going to grab a carousel, and we're going to grab the carousel and pop it below the boudoir photographer. We're going to go to gallery, yes, or photos that I choose. So photos I choose the photographs. Remember, what we're now doing is going into the zero boudoir business. That's where we're going to kind of get it from. And then I can basically just go in now and actually choose the different types of photograph that I want to actually show off on the page. As many as I want. Pressing done. And then we can obviously choose actually if it's going to be a kind of just contained within the kind of the narrowness of this image here. So what do I mean by that? So what we're seeing is a 960 site being built. But if I go into the layout mode here, and I go, instead of fixed, I go into stretchy, this means it now fills the whole screen. All right. Back into general, once more, we now want a title again, so we're going to actually bring it above or below. Yep, and if we just go back, I'm just going to push this onto my other page a minute, just so I can copy and paste in text, right? So I want to copy and paste text there. And once more, power of all generations. I think it's empowering, isn't it? I can never flicking spell. How do you spell it, Jay? Empowering or empowering? Empowering. I can't remember how to do it.
And you're asking me? I don't.
Well, do a quick search me. That looks wrong. That's all.
I'll check for you now.
This is the dyslexic trying to actually do stuff live. That's why I always kind of copy and paste stuff. Anyway, so empowering women's, and he's going to check with me in a minute. So I'm going to grab in text. No laughing out loud, everybody who's watching. Okay, so the most important me, I'm just going to copy and paste this in. And then the most important part of photography is make sure that future generation have as much pleasure of the portrait clients now.
You ready for it?
Whether the portraits are more fun for times a little bit of thoughtful portrait to represent the subject, they look incredibly. comma there. I specialize in wall art, so I don't do loose prints, so this can have total control of the finished quality to create images that will blah, blah, blah. Tears across generations. This we go. Okay, did I spell it wrong?
I don't know. I can't see it. Yeah, you did. It's not an N. It's a M for mother. So E-M.
M, is it? Just looks wrong. It looks like it's some kind of energy thing with it. Right, let's just centralize all this as well. Notice when I import the text, it didn't have any justification or paragraphs. So that's the only real kind of negative so far, is we've got to be doing that. Remember, we're mimicking this page here. So the next thing is going to be another title. Remember, we're doing this today before we do anything else to make sure that you kind of really understand this doesn't take a huge amount of time to actually do what you need to do. Often it's procrastination that basically stops you from doing stuff. So book your boudoir portrait. Portrait. Oh, Mark. I'm just going to say it's Christmas figures, yeah? Book your boudoir portrait now. Okay, then it's going to center this again. I'm going to make it large. In fact, I'm going to make it just large, not extra large mark. Just going to press done. And then we're going to add in another kind of graphic. So we're going to go back down photos. Now, I haven't created any pages yet. So on these action graphics, basically they're not going to do anything. So remember, we uploaded and we did copy some. So I'm just going to kind of book now. So that's the graphic that's going to go in there. Now this is a PNG, which means it's going to be, it's kind of floating, so it doesn't have the square edges. So I've created a circle. Then basically what I've done is put the text in it, and that's how these are being saved. So in other words, all I'm looking for at this stage is action on click is none, but in time that is going to go to a URL, all right, not to a page or gallery. And then basically it's centered, it's medium in size. That's the only thing I need to remember for now. I'm just going to put press done. And then what I want to create then is some other little graphics below. This is going to be a part of the navigation, okay? So once more, I'm going to have a single photo. Remember, why you can see now why I created that folder to begin with, the boudoir experience. Press done to that one. Again, remember, medium is the size that we're going for. We might even make this smaller. Let's do smaller for now. Done. And then we're going to add in another one, a single photograph. Jay, I can do questions as we're doing through this. You know that. This is quite easy to do. Famous last words.
Well, we had a good question. I did answer it, but I saved it to mention to all. But obviously, our answer is in regards to SmugMug. But it was to do with the image sizes when uploading. Do you resize them for web in advance?
No, I don't. That's one of the great things we used to with our other website before. And basically, this kind of took over. So, in other words, with SmugMug, you don't have to actually resize anything, which saves so much time. It's unbelievable, of course, yeah. Choose the photograph, and we're just going to go into book now again. Yeah, so again, different websites need you to do different things, of course. Let's do contact us.
Yeah, so with SmugMug, you put in the full resolution file, and it'll actually create several versions of them for.
It does. It creates those instantly for you, no matter what within things, really. Okay. So again, what we're seeing here, of course, that basically the kind of the spacing is a little bit out here. Can you see the container width is 33.4? Yes. So if I wanted to crush these into the middle, basically what I can do is actually come down here, and actually in the design part, I can put a little bit of a spacer in to the side. So this will kind of move it there. Now I go and add another spacer over the other side, and it starts to actually bring these together. All right, we get in there. So let's do some text again. Just going to drop the text below this one, and this is going to be Get Social with Mark Cleghorn Photography. And we're going to do in a header, and we're centralizing it. And then basically all we're going to do is do social graphics then. So discovery, services, is it? I can't remember where the navigation is now. Oh, it's navigation, you donut, is it? I just said it was easy a minute ago, didn't I? Social. Social icon. Sorry about that one. See, I said he was famous last words. So there's the social icons there, and obviously I can go in and basically add the different ones to it. Depends on the kind of the social element, but social is going to be a big one. So Facebook, obviously, then you want to actually Twitter, depends if you do that or not. I would say in Instagram, yes, and so on with it and things really. So again, just thinking about what is right for you. Just going to press done to that. I would probably put my Raves panel actually going down to here rather than a link straight off to Facebook. Obviously, you just go and kind of copy the link into the actual URL itself. Then what I'm going to go to is another text. I'm going to go to title once more. And this one is going to be our Boudoir styles. Centralizing, we'll go large again, center it. And then this is where I definitely want images, if anything, to be showing off. Now, so this technically is going to be navigation, yes? And what am I going to do? I want, instead of just the images now, we basically want to actually show multiple photographs. Is it going to be a carousel? Is it going to be a button? What is it that we're actually trying to actually show off down here? That's the kind of the key thing. So multiple photographs is what we're going to drag down, and then what are we going to do? So we want single gallery or choose galleries. How are we going to actually do it now? The as far as the kind of the single gallery, and we're going to choose the gallery, this is where we're going to go into the 8 styles, and we're going to actually do kind of classic first, pressing done. Now you can see that this is multiple kind of images kind of coming through here. Yes. Do we want multiple photographs? I don't think we do. I actually think we want a kind of a gallery or a link to an image or whatever it would be and things really. So when we're kind of back up to here, it's a single photograph. Yes, really, that's what we're going for. So we're going to drag that below, and then we're going to click onto this. Then we're going to go into the 8 styles, and then we're going to go into classic, and we're just going to choose a kind of classic boudoir image, and we're going to give it a title of classic. And we're going to give it a kind of a size or whatever it is. So aspect ratio. Let's go kind of really long and skinny. Is it 3 to 1? No, it's 1 to 3. Okay, let's go 1 to 3. Okay, and we'll go into photo size. We're going to go into medium. It's going to drop it down there. Action on click, go to gallery. Okay, so that's the first part of off front page navigation that we're going to do. So when it goes to the gallery, we better make sure when we actually go into the gallery that basically it's having it. Now, the only thing I need to remember here is a couple of things. So in other words, I've set medium and 1 to 3. That's the only thing I needed to do there. And basically the title is in medium as well, and it's centered. So I'm just going to center it here. Oops, wrong button. Okay, just going to press done. Now I come and add another one in. So a single photograph again. We're going to go and choose that photograph, going into a boudoir business, into 8 styles. Basically, then we'll go into dream girl next. choose an image. Once more, dream girl. Center it. We want medium size image, and it's 1 to 3. Pressing done. And option on click is go to gallery. Pressing done. Okay, so plus again. So you get the hang of this now. So once you've got a design that you want to kind of create, you've just got to kind of follow it through. Let's go to bridal next. Just choose a bridal image. Here we go. And bridal. Center. Action on click, go to gallery. Medium size, 1 to 3. Done. And then plus once more. Jay, any questions as we're going through? Because obviously I can speak if you want.
The only other question I've got at the minute isn't necessarily related to the website. It's to do with shooting. I know we were talking about shooting in the past, but if we can get it out of the way while you're doing that, then the question is, they've seen you in your videos and obviously on the Photography Academy as well, shooting to a laptop and asked how we do that.
Okay, so I basically, I tether tools, and I used to use Lightroom, but in fact I use, what's it called, Capture One. And it just makes it a lot easier as far as the speed of transfer is concerned. Now, the question would be, would you really want to actually shoot tethered with Boudoir? I would say no. And the reason being on that is that basically you don't want the client to see the kind of the basic image. You at least want to do the edit because of the poses that we get them in. We want to make sure that at least we're kind of showing them the best of the best. That's really what I would encourage you to do in things, really. So we shoot tether tools from the camera, then it basically goes straight into Capture One. It takes the raw file for me and basically the JPEG image as well. Okay. Right, so I'm just going to put in the 5 there for now. I think if I was doing this for real, I wouldn't run the 8 across. I'd probably run 4-4 because I've got 8. If it was 7, I'd do 4 and 3 or 3 and 4, whichever it would be and things really. But pretty much straight away, I think we've chosen the right kind of images kind of on the selection in here. I would definitely try and add a little bit of a kind of a blog content as such, or something that we could at least have an excuse to kind of have a little bit of a blog or latest news. This is probably where any offers, competitions would be posted on the front page, kind of, and so on with it. I just need to go in though and basically change the whole thing on that. So let's go to heading. We'll go to centralization. It's pretty much done. And then what I did want was actually a video, and like an idiot, I forgot to actually upload a video. Which is just a bit of a shame. So if you kind of come down to here and you kind of look at video, I do have an option to either use a video that is on the website, use a video from YouTube, or use it from Vimeo channel. So basically, I would usually have the video supported on my own website, and that's what I'm going to do for now. But as I said, I don't think I have a video here. There's something called video test. I've got no idea what that is. Let's just do that anyway. It's there. So video title is In the Studio with Mark Cleghorn. But remember, this would be our message blog. This is the thing that would change. So probably with all the kind of COVID restrictions going on throughout the world at present, this is where I would definitely want to make sure that people know what is going on within the business and so on with it. We don't want it in autoplay mode. I'm pretty much there. Let me just copy some text. Last but no means least, and then it would be just text. So how long have we been running for, Jay? Whoops, wrong button. How long have we been running for, bud?
Just shy of about 35 minutes.
Okay, so beautiful boudoir for beautiful. I was going to say women, but I don't want to just do that. Beautiful boudoir. I'm just going to just do beautiful boudoir for women. There we go. And just pressing done to that. So I think that needs to be once more a header, just to make it bigger on the screen. Center, pressing done. And I think we'll just finish off then with just some images. So basically, once more, we're going to do a carousel at the bottom here, or we'll just do multiple photographs. Let's do multiple photographs. And this could be from a single gallery. And let's say you had your favorite kind of images. So let's just use the boudoir variety for now, all right? But that one now, on impact, go to gallery. No, I don't want to, so it's none. We can still include the spacing, info, scroll, pagination. Yeah, that's okay. Action on click is none. Photo size is small. Aspect ratio, 1:1. What's that like? That's okay. Pressing done. And then pressing done. So at this stage, we can either save for later, or we could discharge the changes fully, but one of these two, we spent all that time, so I would either save for later. Remember, at this stage, the original website is still going on in the background. So even if you're just beginning your website from scratch, I would say get a landing page, even if it's one image saying, you know, coming soon, and then with a contact information button, and then it's basically done. So from that, I can actually go publish now, and that new site is here. So we basically just created, the only thing we haven't done is had the clicks to go anywhere yet. So just in case you don't believe me, let's launch that other website. We're in button, Mark Cleghorn, the edge, isn't it? So remember, this is the site that was. It's still functioning until I do the refresh button. This is great how you've just changed your business. And you go, oh my God, that's pretty cool. But he's got photographer of people, products, and places at the top there. That's not what he is anymore. But you do have that new favicon, but the favicon is black and white and it doesn't look very good. Let's make some changes. We don't have an icon here, do we, for the logo? So let's go in and let's customize it again and just make some tweaks. So we're going to go in and basically we're going to add in the home page. We're going to go and add a single photograph. That's going to go above the photographer. And I'm just going to go in now and choose the Mark Cleghorn icon. Remember, this is just for this page. And remember, because I collected it into this gallery, that's all I need to go to is this gallery. We just, action on click is none. And photo size, we basically want it small. And then basically just going to press done. That was there. What else did I say was wrong? I've forgotten.
The favicon you're going to change?
Oh, favicon, thanks, bud. So template settings with it. Choose the favicon. Let's go back to there. Let's go and choose something a little bit more colorful. Pressing done. And then some Boudoir, smug mug header. Oh, I've done all that. That's brilliant. So I'm just going to press done for now. Publish that again. I always like to look at the website on different versions at this point. So I would definitely now look at it on my phone and see what I want to change and things really. Okay. So this is a kind of just navigation arrows, but perhaps I want to actually have this as a scrolling kind of imagery. So all I've got to do is come back into here now and go, okay, what do I want this to do? Control, I want to randomize images, I want to loop images on, navigation is going to be off, and then basically your auto scroll speed is going to be medium, and then basically I've now changed that front page to wherever it's going. So all I need to do now is actually go up to the top part and actually change that photography of people and products. Now that's going to go into the top part. Now this is a part of the SEO that we began to touch on, all right? So remember that this is the demo site that I use all the time. The Mark Cleghorn site still exists, and it still is on the likes of Smug Mug. Okay, so if we go into the discovery mode, the first thing I want to do is make sure that all of the main thing is all in here. Okay, so Mark Cleghorn will be based in Barry, yes, near Cardiff in South Wales. Yeah, the photographer, sorry, the photograph galleries include portraits, so include many styles of boudoir, as well as of boudoir. Many styles of boudoir. Full stop, that upon the team are specialist in female photography. And the sessions include so I'm being limited classic, but the sessions include classic boudoir. The sessions include classic boudoir, fashion makeovers, and fine art nude. That's okay. So then all I would need to do is here is obviously change the portraits, boudoir, fashion, makeover, fine art, scrap the training, the academy. We definitely want boudoir, Black Friday, Cardiff, Barry, Hero, and Confidential, 50 Shades, Green Girl, etc. So it's all about the keywords, making my smug mug visible on Google, of course. Discover me, yes. Okay, so this is, yeah, the boudoir. This is where the photographer of people, products, and places, yeah. Boudoir photography specialist. Okay, and then basically pressing save. So just by doing that, I've helped. Now as well, in the galleries, that's really what I also want to do as well. So even though this website is now live, if we kind of scroll down to here and we click onto the gallery, I haven't put any stylization onto the galleries. And it's also saying you can actually buy these photographs, which obviously I don't want to do. They might even be able to actually, depends on what you set it as, they might be able to download images. So even though I took the quick let's do the settings, upload all the folders. What I need to do is make sure that I'm basically making these images safe, okay? So even in here, when I go into the settings now, I basically want security, public anyone, but that's okay, or I can make it unlisted, anyone with a link, all right? So it will still show the images. It's only if I go private, they basically won't show up. So photo protection at this point, yes. I want right-click messaging on. By default, it always has all but original. I don't want to apply a watermark, yes. Social show sharing options allow comments. I'm going to put the comments to off. Shopping is going to be off, of course, because those images that I'm putting in are not going to be for clients to buy or anybody to buy. The appearance is going to be the collage portrait. I want to switch the gallery image off. That's the thing at the top here, yeah, the classic. I want to switch that off. And basically sort by, it doesn't really matter at all with it and things really. So date uploaded, ascending, descending, show camera information off, show file name off, slideshow is off, and then basically enable the map features to be off as well. And then what I want to do is create a new preset, okay? So you can see it's gallery, boudoir, site images, no download. Okay, so just make it nice and easy for yourself. Just going to press save, and then basically that's done. Now all I need to do is into each one of these galleries, I can just go in and basically click onto it. I forgot what I just called it. What did I just call it? Boudoir, I thought. What did I just call it? Gallery boudoir site images, no download. There you go. Right? Going to press save, go into it, set settings with it, apply the preset once more. I may as well actually go and choose an image that is going to be showing up on the gallery as well. May as well go back to that one. So there is a little bit of housekeeping to be done, all right? But the whole point here is to make sure that your photography is safe. Now, if I was creating a gallery from fresh, I would still need to actually go in and do or apply some of the things that I'm doing now. In other words, setting up the parameters, setting up whether it's for sale, setting if it's going to be shared, etc. All right, you've got to make those decisions. But the main thing, what I'm doing here, and I hope your website suppliers are very, very similar. But what you're trying to do is make sure you can kind of get your job done in as quick a method as you physically can. And as I said, what we could have done was obviously not even publish this site, but all the work would have been done in the background. So by having all the work done in the background like we are now, then basically we are ready to run. So the only thing we really need to do, let me just do that one. It's bridal, isn't it? Your donut. So choose a bridal image. There we go. Done. Apply the preset. So in pretty much about 45 minutes there, we've created the website from absolute scratch. The only thing that I would do is in the galleries. So in other words, when we click onto this gallery here and it goes to the gallery, I would want to actually add a little bit of designer element to the kind of the gallery. All right, now remember, it's only showing shopping cart and for sale download here. This is because it's me. All right, if I was to go into the URL here, refresh the page first, of course, in case, then scrolling down, choose an image, and it goes into the gallery, okay? From within here, I can actually choose the image. So you can see it's got its kind of names on there as well, if there's any names attached to it. But within here, I can basically go and actually change the gallery. So if I come back into the gallery element, all I've got to do in the same way is customize it. Yes. And I can say make all galleries the same, all right? That's the key thing here, or just make this one. Now, if I was having client galleries like we are now, I would probably actually go in and make all client galleries the same. That's the main thing. However, make this custom gallery for now, just so you can see the difference. What I'd want to do is actually go in here and basically add what I would want to add text above. And this is where it would be info about this style. Yes, etc., etc., yeah. And in a size that is right for you. Let's go in header 2. I would also want to delete off this kind of what you call it, the breadcrumb. I don't need the breadcrumb on there as well. Some of the site kind of options allow you to do it, some of them don't. I could also actually add in a single photograph now, which could be back into the graphics element again. And this could either be our contact us, our book now, or both, in fact, isn't it really? So just by putting that in there, you'd make it nice and small. You would have it so that, let's put it on the left for now, GTD. And then you would have it on click. It would go to a URL or a gallery or a contact you and so on within things. I'm just going to click none to now and just pressing done. But you definitely want the client to be doing something on this page. However, I would probably, from the front page that we just saw, yeah, let's go back to it. In fact, what we're going to do is while we're there, we're going to customize, and on this heading, actually on click, we want it to go to the home page. So this is going to be, oh, not that. We want it to Mark Cleghorn photography. Now, I'm just going to go to the edge, in fact, and copy it. Because my spelling is absolutely atrocious, yeah? I tend to actually do all the copying and the pasting anyway with it. So
you just added that into the picture.
I know, I'm a donut. Okay, action on click, go to URL, paste that in there, you donut. And then basically just pressing done. Thanks though, Jay. See, he's not asleep, he's watching me. And so from here, what I would actually do though, instead of it, when I click on this image, go into the gallery, I would actually make it go to a page. So I would create a page for each one of these, and in that page layout, I can basically control it to actually show what it is. So if you haven't seen things that we've kind of done in the past and things really to do with a page, but is there a Boudoir page there, or pages, pricing, commercial, collections, contact, web dance project, newborn voucher, Black Friday portrait? Oh, there's not one for a Boudoir, but let's just kind of click onto this one now anyway. So in a portrait page, I can design it in any way I want, okay? So I can have the information on there. It's really just down to you. So for instance, if we go onto the Mark Cleghorn one, click there. And then we go into portraiture, we come into Boudoir. You can see an example of a page here, an example of a page link that kind of goes through as well to another page and so on with it. All right. So again, this will give you a good idea how to input kind of contact information and so on with it. Right. So the main thing is, as we talked about, was to make sure you not only do what you're doing to a site, but you also ensure that you are making sure the SEO is up to date with it. So whatever site supplier that you use, make sure that every gallery has information, every image before you upload has information, and then basically the site parameters as well. So remember in the beginning, if we just go back to closing that down for a minute, We come back into the home page here. Look at the top now, it's Boudoir Photography Specialist, Cardiff, or whatever you want to do and so on, just actually keep it in there. So it is very, very simple for you to actually go into your website and basically create it. Any questions, Jay, to finish off?
No, just some questions about how to get more information for the experience, but I'll do that in a minute, but nothing on the Boudoir side, no.
Brilliant. Okay, so thanks for joining me live. Obviously, we're taking a bit of a Christmas break now, and we'll be back the Monday, the 4th, I believe, at 1 o'clock again, and we're going to cover what to wear and how to encourage clients to actually bring in the right outfits to wear to make sure that the shoot is going to be its most successful. So we're going to be covering that in what to wear in session 5, as it were. Thanks.